is it with your wrestling federation? As soon as you want to get rid of someone, they turn around, they sue you. What was the girl we had on here who said she wanted to sue Vince?
Whatever her name was.
Sable.
Right.
What did you do wrong? You want to change characters.
Right.
And then everyone turns around and sues you.
Right.
As if you owe them a job for life. This I don't understand.
Nor do I.
So what do you do? I mean, you've got probably a team of lawyers working endlessly, right?
Well, no, again, eventually, you have to stand your ground naturally.
Right.
And you just do that and just, wait it out and do what you have to do. But
see, that's the part that I would...
These wrestlers are always running back and forth from one organization to another. And it's very... weird, They want to stay in wrestling, but now they're going to go work for this guy, and then they're going to come back to you later on after they've sued you. Could you rehire them?
Michael, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, Howard. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
Listen, speaking about lawsuits, from what I heard from this Costas interview, I know Costas came close, but I didn't really ask Mr. McMahon about this case down here in Florida where the little boy was tried for killing the little girl, and the attorney raised the wrestling defense. Mr. McMahon and his organization had sued the defense lawyer.
Good. For
defamation and so on and so forth.
Well, it's true. I mean, where are the parents? You've said this a million times. Where are the parents of this? I mean, you telling me a kid watches wrestling on TV? I knew a kid. I remember when I was a little kid, Superman was on TV, and someone tried to sue because their kid flew out the window because he saw Superman on TV.
Well, he didn't fly out the window.
Well, he did. He actually he couldn't fly. Yeah. Kid thought he was from Krypton. I remember it was a real sad case and everything. But the fact of the matter is, there are people who are just crazy.
They don't have any judgment at all.
So what are we going to do? End all entertainment in the hopes that the 1 in a billion person who can't handle it on TV is going to... what's going on with all that?
Yeah, they just threw out a case against natural-born killers because some people were claiming they got the inspiration for their crime spree from that movie.
Yeah. That's still a far cry from the WWF suing the defense lawyer.
No, they should.
Are you suing the defense lawyer?
These guys from using these defenses.
We may be. The defense lawyer came up with this hoax, type situation, claiming that the kid was emulating and only emulating wrestling maneuvers, and that's not the case. I mean, they didn't even have that defense for several weeks after, the incident. And the kid's mother, who works for the Highway Patrol in law enforcement, was allegedly asleep upstairs and listening to all of this going on. At one time, even opened the door and allegedly said, what the hell is going on, and was told that Tiffany was the young 6-year-old who died. Tiffany's raising hell. And she says, and the woman said, well, if in fact she doesn't stop it, I'm going to come down and beat her ass. Now, that's the mother saying that.
Right.
And it's all your fault that
it's all my fault somehow. And this kid's 170 pounds, and, what he did was obviously not emulating wrestling maneuvers.
Yeah.
It was a hoax. The whole defense was a hoax.
Yeah, they were looking. And they wanted to call, WWF members, people who are in the WWF as witnesses, like they'd have something to say about it.
Right. Okay, Ralph, go ahead. You're on the air.
Hey, Howard, how you doing?
Hey, man, what's up?
You're the funniest, man.
Thank you.
Listen, Vince, why don't you tell Howard how you screwed Bret Hart 2 years ago?
Sure.
A couple of years ago.
Okay, I'll be happy to.
Well, how did Vince screw her? Screw him.
Screw him.
You mean
He
the guy
calls
who died?
the
guy who
belt?
died?
In WrestleMania, he embarrassed him right in front of his home crowd.
Yeah, go ahead. What do you want to say to this guy, Vince?
Well, it was a situation whereby Bret Hart, who was one of our great performers, we had a difference of opinion, and Bret was going to go work for Ted Turner's WCW.
Right.
And he wasn't going to do what we call in our business the honors going out.
Right. Which means, say goodbye?
Say goodbye the right way and lose the title and that sort of stuff. And so in any event, we had a difference of opinion there, and Bret didn't want to go out the way that he should, which is the time-honored tradition and also good business, by the way. And so, in essence, I just let him believe that he was going to have it his way and screwed him in the ring. Yep.
Why are you fighting your son in the ring? What's up with that? What's the storyline there?
The storyline there is, again, it's like Shane's taking up for my wife, who, by the way, was comatose, and,
these stories.
Right, yeah.
I mean, she's in a sanitarium. She had a nervous breakdown because I was having an affair with this gal, Trish.
Right.
So it's interesting soap opera.
End up down here. What's going on?
I just came down here.
Because you heard Vince was here?
Yes.
Are you huge wrestling fans?
Yes.
How old are you guys?
21.
19. You got jobs yet, or are you still in college?
You got jobs.
You got jobs. Neither of you guys have ever been late, I bet.
Oh, ton. I live with my girl.
You got to be kidding me.
Nope.
And what is your question for Vince? I mean, you've been waiting out there all day.
What do you got to say?
What do you got to say to Vince?
So, you going to take over WCW?
That's the question?
Yeah, that's the question.
That's a good question, WCW. What are you going to do? It's falling apart.
In all likelihood, yes.
Really?
Wow.
We'll see.
That's big.
Could you get Hogan before Monday, if that happens?
What are you saying? Hulk Hogan would then become your property again?
Well, no.
It depends if he's under contract or not.
I see.
But
Are you still interested in him, or is he has been? He's yesterday's news, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, there's, he's still a tiger. I don't know how many teeth he has left, but he's still a tiger.
You know what? That was one of the things I was going to ask you. These guys never seem to want to retire.
Right.
Some of them don't.
I mean, Randy Savage.
Right.
Isn't he 100?
Has Hulk Hogan stayed around wrestling too long? I mean, you tried to get rid of him, and, you did. I mean, is it enough with him? Is that what you're saying?
Well, in terms of, day-to-day competitiveness and stuff like that, obviously he can't hang, with the young guys now. I mean,
right.
No one can at that age.
Right.
But
what is his age?
I think he's about...
60?
No. I don't know. I guess 47.
Right.
That's when you're not able to hang.
See, this is where you're unfortunate in the position that you've got to be the guy to tell these guys, look, you're too old. You've been around too long.
Well, not that they still don't have personality. They still don't have some value.
Yeah, maybe
on an
they
ongoing
can become
basis.
managers of younger guys.
That could easily happen. Spokesperson, that kind of a stuff. And, and on occasion, do the old Babe Ruth stuff every now and then.
Do you not like this guy personally?
He's all right. We had some differences. We were really close at one time.
Right.
And we had some differences during the steroid trial stuff.
Right.
And
he accused you of giving him steroids or something?
He really didn't accuse me. It's a thing whereby the government kind of put the finger on him and,
He had to say it his way.
No, I don't think anybody has to say anything, especially when it comes to the government. I'm not real big on that.
Right.
But, and he disappointed me. He's not the stand-up guy that I would be for him in role reversal.
You would have stood up for him.
You would have gone down for him.
Careful how you say that.
But he doesn't go down for any man.
But, I would have done the right thing, I think, and again, he had a lot of pressure on his family and that sort of stuff and thought he may go to jail and for some reason.
So he turned on you.
Well,
he didn't exactly turn on me. He really walked that fine line where...
Did he lie about you?
He didn't tell the entire truth, but he wasn't really, even though he was a government witness, he didn't help them out all that much either. He really walked the line.
But it just burned you and said, hey, what kind of friend are you?
Well, nothing ultimately happened to you, though.
It disappointed
me. Yeah, well, luckily nothing happened to him, but something could have.
My dad, they had like little territories, back in the day. And my dad's territory was the Northeastern Territory. And he was very successful, actually. And my premise was that what my dad sort of started in a more entertainment genre, would be successful all over the globe. So, and no one ever competed with anyone else. You never crossed into the other guy's territory type thing.
So you had a brainstorm, and you knew how to market this thing. That's why they call you a marketing genius, because you knew how to what is it?
When his dad did it, it was on like UHF stations back then.
Yeah.
Right, you could hardly see the
Spanish
wrestling.
stations.
Yeah,
right.
get fuzzy.
Yeah.
I was looking through the notes. I guess it said that Vince has said that if his dad ever knew that he was going to take WWF National, he probably wouldn't have given it to him.
Well, that was because my dad had a lot of friends, these other, territory owners that owned these fiefdoms. My dad had a lot of friends and acquaintances.
So, in other
forth.
words, you crushed these people.
And I competed with them.
Right. And you won. I mean, so what? Big deal. That's what you do in business.
Right?
Sure.
Yeah, why not?
My dad was not too thrilled with that at first, though.
And your dad has since died, right?
Yes.
He's no longer alive. Your mother, I read in Playboy, I was shocked. Your mother, you're not in touch with because you said that's got to be terrible.
I didn't say that.
Wait
It was
a
the
minute.
inference.
Hold it.
Yeah.
What did she do?
I don't know, but whatever it was not good. Because Vince, you get all choked up when you talk about it, right?
I'd rather not talk about that subject.
Damn, that's a good one.
Your mother's around.
You ought to wrestle hard. Never mind your son.
Storyline.
Your mother is around and you don't talk to her.
Not a lot.
Boy, did she blow it, because, man, you're a billionaire.
Does she get any money from the WWF?
I just realized what I said. Did she blow it? That's the question.
That's wrong, Howard.
Vince, I apologize. How dare I? I mean, that would be traumatic. That would make me crazy.
Would be traumatic, right.
You do
But
not...
wait a minute. She doesn't get any of the money.
No.
Oh, nice. No. Cut her off.
Just sit there and watch it.
Hey, just because she gave birth to you don't mean that she's entitled to that WWF money.
Baby's
boy.
a billionaire.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Nice move.